Hello everyone, friends. Thank you for visiting Bitcoin Adept. Today we will talk about global Bitcoin movements because during those corrections that take us by surprise, it always seems that Bitcoin is about to burst and go down to the bearish market. And I want to share a few thoughts on this matter. Firstly, today, guys, is a holiday Forgiveness Sunday. And I want to ask forgiveness from those whom I have inadvertently offended because sometimes in the comments I see negative remarks about me. Honestly, this happens very rarely. And people, for example, ask, well, where is Bitcoin? At such and such a price. You promised a certain price. And firstly, guys, I don't know where Bitcoin will go tomorrow. Therefore, I never promise any specific price. I just express my opinion, just share my thoughts on where Bitcoin might go depending on how it has moved before. Moreover, I put my money on these thoughts, on my actions, you could say. That is, I try to buy Bitcoin at the lowest price and sell at the highest. So, once again, I don't know where Bitcoin will go. And guys, beware of those who tell you they know where Bitcoin will definitely go, because that's definitely fake. And here you might feel like getting upset with the person. Although no, you shouldn't get upset even in this case. And in advance, I forgive all my haters. Although, guys, I've never been upset with them. Such people must always exist. So, let's talk about the global movements of Bitcoin. This is our monthly chart. The 10th moving average on the monthly chart. And we are quite clearly moving above this 10th moving average, making corrections. Sometimes we dip slightly below it. And it's quite likely that we are already approaching the end of the cycle. There are approximately 250 days left until the end. These are my thoughts, guys. Later, I will show why I make such assumptions. And in past cycles, we also moved above this yellow 10th moving average when we were approaching peak values. Here we had the Corona dump. Before that, we were quite clearly moving above this moving average from the bottom, sometimes correcting towards it. And guys, the final part of the bull market has always been like this for us. Look, initially our growth was quite noticeable, but if you look at it in degrees, it's probably around 35 degrees. And then we had parabolic growth. This is a cycle with one peak. The recent cycle had two peaks. And here, approximately, guys, you can track a similar trend. That is, initially the growth was, if averaged, quite small, then the growth became parabolic. And it was exactly the same in the past. Let me quickly draw it for you, and then we will move on to the present day, so to speak. And here, too, the same parabolic growth with two peaks. Moreover, guys, speaking of parabolic growth, why is it even needed? In such cycles, at the end of the cycle, this growth often causes euphoria among market participants. That is, seeing these green candles month after month, a person, can't help themselves when all their neighbors are saying, "Buddy, have you bought Bitcoin or some altcoins?" You see, everything is growing, and this parabolic growth should be at the very beginning of the movement. This financial asset needs to be large in order to attract maximum attention. You see, at the very beginning, Bitcoin grew very strongly, after which it slowed down more and more. But still, you see, yes, here is the parabolic growth from two peaks. It is greater than the subsequent ones. And guys, the one we had recently is even smaller. It's required. We need euphoria so that people would jump into this asset anyway. Because over time, they already see that this asset is stable, that it provides growth. And in the end, there's no point in printing such green candles throughout the year, for example. And what is happening with us at the moment? We had such growth in Bitcoin. Parabolic growth. We haven't seen it yet, but I can assume that we still have time for this. So I am connecting the Bitcoin indicator, Power Love Corridor, in my version. And let's see how Bitcoin has moved with us before. You see that at the very beginning we were coming out of the green zone where we are now, but this upward exit was becoming lower and lower each time. And does this mean that our bull market is over and now we will only go down? Let's not do that. Let's switch to the weekly chart because the monthly one is too large, bright candles. Let's connect the weekly chart and the 50 moving average. And first of all, you all see that we often came to the 50 with weekly candles. This moving average went higher for a correction. Now we almost reached it, but also bounced off already. Everyone's mood has improved. Almost $86,000 per Bitcoin now. And in the future, if this moving average continues to rise, then our corrections will just be higher. So let's do it this way. Let's extend this indicator of mine. The upper line of the main accumulations and the lower support zone. Approximately this is how it looks. And you all know that we have 4-year cycles for Bitcoin. The cycle always ends in November, December, as it did in 2021. At the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018, it was the same before that. All of this happened historically in December 2013. Halving occurs once every 4 years. And you also know my predictions that this cycle might end in November, December 2025. These are my thoughts, again I repeat, purely based on past events. And based on the fact that this is a tool for large players to buy at the bottom, at the top. All of this was sold off. And accordingly, there's no point in changing anything as people keep falling for the same traps. And could it be, guys, that the cycle is already over? That Bitcoin will go bearish from here? And here I want to say that, of course, anything can happen. You could wake up tomorrow, Bitcoin is worth 0 rubles, and that's it. And altcoins don't exist at all. But if we look at these past movements, I'm still waiting, guys. On average, approximately 180,000 for Bitcoin. Let me draw a mark at the top. I always aimed for the range of 160, 200,000 a 180. Let it be something average, and I don't consider it some kind of high super zone that we can reach, and then, as per the classic pattern, go into a bear market. Moreover, this upper part above, my signal indicator here will be smaller accordingly than the previous ones. And like this, as I showed, yes, over time they decrease with each cycle, they become smaller. This one is smaller than the previous ones. And accordingly, this one is smaller than the one before. The previous ones, but I don't see any reasons. In this current unloading, as many are saying now, since euphoria in the market has not yet occurred, and many traders are heavily influenced by the current news background. They believe that this is a negative news background, an impending depression problem. With the dollar in short, everything is as always, just like in past cycles. In short, globally, these are my thoughts, and be sure to write down your thoughts in the comments. That's all. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see and hear my thoughts on the price of Bitcoin and altcoins. And thank you to everyone who watched this video to the end. Goodbye to all.